All right, thank you for joining us for the Improving the Online Student Experience webinar. I have some friends here and I want to introduce them. So everyone take a second to introduce yourself and we'll get started with the webinar.
I'm Jordan Lamarca. I am the Distance Learning Advisor. I've been with Tallahassee for about the last year, and I've been in distance learning education for 6 years.
I'm Helene Gold. I am the chair of the Information Literacy and Research Services Department, also faculty librarian. I have been an academic librarian for almost 20 years.
Alrighty, so we're just going to jump right into it here and get into our panel discussion. So question number one, in your opinion, what or who is a distance learner here at TCC?
A distance learning student is any student that is taking an online course or a SPY course, a course that is not offered here at the campus and they can take in a distance environment.
Helene, what would you say when you see a distance learning student come into the library? What are some of the characteristics of these students that you might see? Are they full-time? Are they working full-time, or are there certain what would you say a distance learner is in your opinion?
Probably the defining characteristic of the distance learner is they're looking to find courses that fit their schedules and fit their busy lives. Mm-hmm. So they don't fit a particular age, they don't fit a particular type of student. They run the gamut and are looking for convenience, mm-hmm. and online courses often allow them that convenience.
Okay. Now, that was a great segue into what we're going to talk about next. So I think Helene just touched on that a lot. Jordan, when you deal with a lot of these students face-to-face or even through email and phone, or there's some similarities that you're seeing, like an age demographic, male, female, anything like that that might help our faculty understand our distance learners a little more?
It's more common to see students in the online environment that are maybe trying college for a second time. They maybe tried when they were younger and now they're coming back. Family, job, something may have prevented them from finishing it in the past, and now they're coming back saying online works with my busy schedule, my work schedule, and allows me to complete the goals in education that I have.
All right. So the next topic, what should faculty members know about distance learners? When working with these students, is there something that you've sort of noticed working with your own students that maybe they might be able to plan for, something along those lines?
When I think about what faculty members should know is, much like faculty, these students are quite busy. They have a lot going on. They definitely enjoy when you communicate with them. They tell you, or they try to tell you when they're having challenges, and it would be nice if you can tell them when they're having challenges. There's a lot that these students are dealing with most of the time: family, kids, job, and then school on top of it is making it for a full load. And so anything that communication-wise can occur between faculty and students is always going to be appreciated by the student.
Helene, what would you say?
I would probably say the biggest challenge that I see with distance learners that do come on campus and come into the library is that they are having a difficult time understanding assignments as they're written or understanding material, because oftentimes assignments and material that's used for in-person class has the benefit of the faculty member having a dialogue in person with the student describing the nature of the assignment or the nature of the material in a more conversational, hands-on way, and students miss out on that in the online environment. So just plugging in materials that are used for in-class students might not necessarily work for online students. So I would say that they might need to have assignments chunked differently or just written differently so that it's more intuitive and perhaps clearer than without having the opportunity to have the conversation in class.
Great, and I think I would like to add something to that too, is more video tutorials, more showing people how to, is, like we were just saying, with the face-to-face stuff, you'll be able to walk someone through it, stuff you might even just take for advantage, whether it's some basic directions you might tell a student or, your class face-to-face, but, with the online classroom, they don't get that, so don't assume they know how to do stuff. Really make those tutorials, show students where to go in your course or how to get to assignments or how to complete an assignment if you're curious.
I got one more thing on that too. Kim mentioned that a online class is very different from a ground campus course, and that is something that with my 6 years of experience, I definitely have noticed, and the instructors and the faculty and students appreciate when online is treated different from a ground campus. Some of the things that work at a ground campus don't work in the online format, and some of the things that work in an online format won't work in a ground campus format. And so, try things, figure out what works for you, but definitely understand that they are two different courses and two different styles.
Okay, so transitioning to question 4, what service does your area offer that may help distance learning students that faculty members may not know about?
There are a variety of online tools that are created specifically for distance learners, and the most important tool that we have are the research guides. The research guides serve as one-stop shopping for all of our students to be able to select the appropriate database to find articles and primary documents for their assignments that they wouldn't otherwise necessarily know how to navigate to. So I'd like to show the research guide. There is a research guide that was created for faculty specifically, and it involves incorporating librarians into your course on campus and in person, on campus and online, for the embedded librarian experience. So here, when we go to the library, and we can get there quickly here, also through Blackboard there's a link. But when we go to the Research Guide tab and go to the Research Guide link, and then you'll have to log in so that you can do this from anywhere. And this is available from anywhere on campus, off campus. And when you log into the research guides, students will see their courses and subject material, the most popular ones linked here. But there's a faculty research guide that we've created for instructional sources. And here, this is where you will discover who your liaison librarian is. Each of the faculty librarians is a liaison to a department. For example, I'm liaison to English, other liaisons and other departments are listed here. If you click on the Need Help link tab, you'll see each of your liaison librarians, and to begin to create support tools for your students in an online environment, the best thing to do is to reach out to us. So for example, if you have found articles or encyclopedia chapters or videos, we have a variety of streaming videos of documentaries in a variety of areas. You can't just copy and paste the URL into Blackboard. You have to use an authenticated system, and there's a tab that shows you how to do this, which is importing library resources in Blackboard. So if you work with us, we can show you how to put authenticated subscription material URLs into your Blackboard course. We can work with you to develop online content. We can create tutorials, PowerPoints, any sort of instructional material that will assist your student online that works specifically with your assignment. So we encourage you to work with your librarian to help you put materials online, create new materials, but also for instruction. So an embedded librarian service is available where we work with your students one-on-one, creating the opportunity for asynchronous and synchronous dialogue. For research consultation, students can call us at night, students can call us during the day. It really allows for more hands-on, one-on-one experience for students who are really unfamiliar with using library resources and more structured research tools. So do take advantage of the faculty research guide, contacting your librarian, looking at the step-by-step instructions of how to embed URLs into Blackboard so that they're authenticated for your students.
Cool. Jordan, what's one service in the advising area that you guys offer that faculty might not know about? Is there something you could think of?
The only thing that I run into as far as students not knowing about and maybe faculty's not aware of it is that the Student Success Department does have a assigned distance learning advisor, which is currently myself. I only work with online students, or most of the time work with online students and distance learning students. Much like a regular advisor, I help them with their tracks, I help them with what steps they need to graduate. And that also means if you as a faculty member have questions about the steps of what students have to do, you can reach out to me, just like you would any regular advisor at the Student Success Department.
Alrighty. And the last question we're going to cover is, in your opinion, not specific to your area, but how can we improve the online distance learning experience? As we sort of move forward now at our college, we're sort of looking to retain students with our online programs and sort of make the experience just great from start to finish, easy, nice and easy. Helene, what would you say is one of the main things we could do to improve the distance learning experience?
I think making it more personal helps students to be able to connect with their instructor and connect with each other in a more meaningful way than just introducing yourself on the discussion board. Possibly having more detailed profiles for students to be able to see the other students in the class, having other types of communication, maybe having optional synchronous chat time. I think having more of a personal touch that allows students to know each other better and know the instructor better may improve keeping them connected to TCC. Even when they're not physically connected to us, we do want to keep our students connected to us in as strong a virtual way as we possibly can.
Yeah, and I'll add something onto that. I was recently at a conference with a bunch of our colleagues from other universities and colleges, and what they're seeing is that students are now becoming free agents in online education, where they'll go to any school, they'll go to one school for one course, another school for another. So I think it's really important that if we're going to retain our distance learning students, that, like Helene was saying, getting to know them, being personal, that's what students are going to come back for, because they had an awesome experience in their English course or their math course, and they knew someone really cared for them. So when you do interact with your online students, definitely make it personal, look to make a connection with them. Jordan, what's one thing that you would think?
One thing that is a common occurrence in online is that it's still very much in its infancy as far as an educational format, and things are changing every year. Again, in my experience, I see differences from each new format, each new learning format, such as Blackboard or Canvas. And as an instructor or faculty member, you just need to be aware that those changes are going to occur, and you need to find out how those changes can impact your class. A lot of those changes, while they may seem complicated or frustrating at the beginning, when students start to understand them and it's starting to be implemented, it makes a big difference in the class. And much as Matt was mentioning with keeping students around, when they start to see that the classes are going well, if we can implement that across the entire online format at TCC, we'll have those students spend more time here and coming here more often to take those classes.
Alrighty. Does anyone have any final closing thoughts they'd like to add? Or I think we've covered a lot of stuff here right now, right?
Make sure you take advantage of your librarian. We can really improve your interactiveness with your online students. So plug for the library.
Jordan, do you have anything?
Try to make resources available for students such as the library. Make sure they know how they can get assistance if they can't reach you. They're learning on their own a lot of the times, and they have very limited interaction unless you're reaching out to them and helping them find where they can find more interaction and assistance.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you guys coming out, taking time out of your busy day. And thank you for tuning into the webinar. And if you have any questions, feel free to email the Center for Distance Learning.